Hey, all right, it's time for a little more building of the Fan Home Millennium Falcon. We are currently on, what am I holding up there for? We're on issues 14 and 15 today. Two issues for each one of these, for every one of these selections. Hopefully you're not getting too much noise in the background. I am currently doing a 3D print, actually, of another Star Wars thing. One of my kyber crystal holders. So that's going on in the background. It's pretty close to done, so it actually might finish up while we're doing this episode, this recording. Let's look at what comes in issue 14. We've got our usual all fun stuff here. We've got screws. Oh, the fun of screws. Yes. We always get extra screws. We've got actually another one of these guys, another one of these panels. This one has that jammed in there. Kind of like what we already have on the side of the hold. Another outer panel that's going to go somewhere on the outside. Another frame. Golly, it's like the Millennium Falcon greatest hits in this issue. Some more screws. The silver screws. This bag already has the black and brass. And then we've got another set of these rings, like that, with all those little indentations on them, because we're going to be putting all of these little individual panels all inside that ring, which means it's time to get out the cutters and the glue and the toothpicks, because that's how we do things here. It's warming up enough outside that I'm hoping to get this done and then go out for a nice bike ride. So we're going to get these parts put together, and then it should warm up. Well, let's open up the issue. Let's make sure that, before we start doing anything, that we're doing the things we need to be doing. So much content to read in these things. My gosh. The Falcon's add-on circuitry bay shows you where the circuitry bay is in relation to the rest of the ship. What all the lights and panels do. It's kind of crazy. All right, so, yep, we have another internal port wall, circuitry bay, hold door liner, inner and outer, pads, 18 of them, hull plating, screws, radial stiffening rib, and hull frame. All right, but as expected, this is exactly what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be doing the, the stuff with the whole door, and then all the little plates, all these little 18 plates that go on this whole door. So, as before, I'm just going to start cutting these bad boys out. And chat with you guys while I'm doing this. Using the clippers that are so instrumental in pulling these things off and not leaving a lot of plastic residue that you have to trim off with an X-Acto knife. I do like getting these things clean after I cut them, but the problem with these, the way they've got them on the sprue here, just lost one. Did it drop down? Fully drop down? Well, poop. Where did that thing go? I didn't hear it hit the floor. But who can hear anything in this room with the 3D printer going? It bounced. And then, let's check. As it might have landed on the carpeted part of this room. If it did fall off. The fourth piece. The fourth freaking piece I've cut out of this guy, and well, didn't find it down there, so it's got to be up here somewhere. Did not fall on there. Alright, we'll come across it. I think for right now, we'll leave the open spot on one of the ends of this thing, and I'm not going to fully glue it in place. Actually, I'll glue it in place, but because I'll still be able to access it. I just got to cut these things closer to the mat. Jeez Louise. They really do bounce. And here I'm talking about how great these clippers are. I mean, they're great, but I guess that is a little bit of a problem, is that as you're clipping them out, make sure you hold on to them and then just let them fall naturally. Kind of what I did anyway, but I held it. I had it such a high angle that it dropped and bounced. I should drop another one and see where it goes, because that's guaranteed to show me where the first one fell. I'm sure. I'm totally sure of it. Okay. Just one more quick look around to see if I find it before I start putting glue on these things. Man, what a drag that is. Grab a toothpick. All right. Somebody was saying, actually, why not put the glue on the thing here, which I thought was a really good idea, and then it seems like it's a little more difficult to get the glue on my fingers and hands as I'm pushing the pieces on. I'll still find a way, don't get me wrong, guaranteed I'm still going to be getting glue on my hands. Alright, and so like before, we pop these guys on. Oh my gosh. No, I'm going to get glue all over the damn place doing it this way. Because I'm holding in so many different places that definitely have glue on them. I've already got it on my fingers. I can feel them already sticking together. Okay. Well, I only did 4 spots on here. And it's quite possible I've already rubbed the glue off of those spots, because this next piece just isn't, first off, it's not going in place. Second off, it's not sticking. So I think that might be a problem. Yeah, we're going to go back to applying the glue to the inside of these guys. It's a one at a time thing as opposed to multiple at a time, but I think in the long run, it's going to be far better. Oh my God. I already got so much glue on my fingers already. This is the first thing in issue number 14, and my hands are already covered. Well, all right, not covered, but they're stuck in places that it's going to drive me nuts through the rest of this build. All right. Well, guess what? We're also not doing these things. Oh my gosh, not even doing these things in the order. I got so excited about putting this thing together. We're not even doing things in the order that they're shown in the book. Do as I say, people, not as I do. Could I 3D print the missing piece? I could. Will I? Not likely. Not likely. These pieces are going on very nicely. You know, for paint and stuff, I use, what is it called? Lava soap. I don't think lava soap works on glue, though, and resins and things like that. I think it's really good for grease when you're working on a car. I always have that stuff out and ready when I'm working on a car to clean myself up, but not so much for cyan acrylic glue, unfortunately. Just a few pieces left, and then one that I'll find at some point. Just picked up a new little handheld dustbuster vacuum cleaner to use here in the shop, in the what I call the lab, because it's got the 3D printers and stuff like that, the airbrush studio, things like that. And now I can't use it until I find that piece. I really want to vacuum, but I can't. Oh, son of a gun. Popped out, landed, of course, glue side down on my hand. This is slowly turning into the Dan Aykroyd as Julia Child sketch on SNL. As things go from bad to worse with the glue and the missing pieces. But I am so glad that you're all here to bear witness to the madness. And then the last, well, at least the last piece that I have, and again, leaving that last spot open for if and when I find the missing piece. Might be somewhere else up in here. Really took a nice bounce wherever it went. I mean, it wasn't that high off the table, and boy did it seem to take off somewhere. Well, thanks a lot, Fan Home, for not giving me 19 of these pieces to put in place. All right, let's get these other pieces glued in. Got our toothpick all covered with glue anyway, so we're going to put that in where this other door goes in a few select spots. Good. Okay. Pop that guy in. Hold it for just a second so that it fits. All right. And now this guy will actually glue the outer part of the door liner as opposed to gluing the inside. because I can control. Definitely want to have it on the ends, and I want to have a place where I can grip it. To put it in place. So we'll drop one side in, drop the other side in. Oh my god, these are really just going from bad to worse with this. There we go. Get a little paper towel, a little alcohol on it. Just to kind of clean up part where little excess glue got out. There we go, a little up there and a little here. And then the dry part to kind of wipe those spots up. Cool, that'll dry, that'll look a lot better. I hope, once it's dry. Kind of all thumbs today. Oh, welcome to the From Bad to Worse. Okay. Cleaned up there. And then we're going to glue the part I just put together. It's going to go inside here and make sure it's flush with the outer corridor, which means probably the best way to do this then is going to be to put it down and then glue the upper part of this so that we don't get residual glue on the outside. I can kind of smear that around. Same with this. And again, have a nice place to grip onto it, but still gluing the other parts. Drop it in place, and then make sure it's flush, and then raise it up so that it can dry normally. All right. Yeah, you can see a little bit of the residue from the glue that kind of leaked out a little bit, as well as the alcohol-soaked paper towel, which didn't clean it up as well as I'd like it, but I can kind of, there's a little Goo Gone trick that I can do to clean that up once things are dry. This is not a situation where you want to do things before everything's had a chance to dry. I'm going to make sure while things are still setting, I can still kind of push this piece out so it's flush. There we go. I want that thing to be flush all the way around and not indented. A little bit more glue inside here. And then I can press that piece out. All right. And then we're going to fit the port wall. While this thing dries, we're going to put it on the deal here. And then we'll be completing our the hold. So we're going to actually have now something here that's going to go on that wall right there. And I'll make sure to leave a little spot so that I can get to the missing chunk. This is also going to very nicely get these two pipes in place with something for them to be held in place by, which is really nice, because those we did last time There we go. That will hold in place very nicely and then be held in by screws on both sides, the brass screws. Very interesting, on this one we didn't have any pipes coming around the port wall. And the pipes did, yep, pipes lined up perfectly on those, so that's good. Okay, let's cut this open and get the brass screws out. We've got brass screws and black screws. And I believe this is the screwdriver that worked best with these. Okay. Let me get this first one screwed in, just to kind of hold things in place while we double check the pipes. Let's see how those pipes look. Still in the right place. Good. Okay. Groovy. Gonna screw this in. Get the next one going. Do the opposite corner. Thanks to magnetism, I'm pulling out every screwdriver in the box, because they are all stuck together. Alright, that's good. And now this guy tightened a little bit. Good. Okay. The two remaining brass screws. Good. And then finally, the last one. Okay, screwed in, everything looks good, pipes are held in place, and our hold is looking really, really good. Let's take a look at what's in the next issue. Or, I'm sorry, the next, yeah, that completes everything here. Let's go to issue 15. We got more screws. 3 more of these rings, these corridor rings. Tell me we're not doing those this time. Well, my hands are a mess. We're not. Oh, thank goodness. Nope, we're going to be adding some additional frames. So let's get that going. All right, we're going to put the hold away. We're going to get out the other bag. We've got our black screws right here. Let's get things kind of cleaned up and organized. We need this. Let's open up 15. Really just get out the piece that we need, as well as I'm sure we're going to need another little bag of screws. Well, let's take it all out. We'll take it all out because I want to keep those things organized in the box anyway. All right, bag of cardboard. Another nice little piece of outer plating. Can't wait till we start putting that stuff on. That's really gonna make it feel like it's coming together when we have those pieces start going on there. Here's our 3 additional sprues of 18 pads, as well as the 3 pieces that they go on. This is going to make the corridor. They've got little nubs at the top, so those are all going to have to line up as we put all that together. We've got this guy, we've got that guy. We need our frame, and we need this piece that came in the last, I think, package 13. We don't need any glue, so I'm going to move the glue out of the way here, and the toothpick that I use to glue things together. We're going to put this piece here, and then we're going to be adding these new ones. So let's get these guys all out of their containers. Alright, nothing else in there, no screws or anything. That piece is going to go right there, obviously. Next piece, and we have another little, we have another set of outer ribs, stabilizing ribs. That guy's going to go there, like so. And then finally this guy. Another stabilizing rib for the outside, and another connector piece. And that will go like so. So basically those we're going to add on to the side. Man, this thing is nicely coming together. We have some more brass and some more black screws. We have some more self-threading screws. Haven't used any of these yet, the self-threading screws. Alright, let's start assembling the frames. Let's cut this guy open. Get these screws out. They're nice enough to give me a lot of extra brass screws. That's good. And then here are all the black ones. Alright, that's good. Let's start putting these guys together. Frame 16, so we're going to be basically taking this first one and putting it out here. This is where the magnetized screwdrivers come in really handy. As long as you don't drop the pieces. There's a whole bunch of metal wire that this thing is stuck to. Let's get this thing on here first. Then we'll match things up, and then we'll start screwing them in. Okay. Get that matched up. That guy in there. Doing the thing that I said I wouldn't do. And also, why am I not wearing my glasses for this part? Should be. I'm going to get this first screw in, I think, and then I'll go get my glasses. No, we're going to get the glasses first because that screw went in upside down. It took me until I got the screwdriver and to figure it out. Okay. Oh my gosh, I can see. Lo and behold, look at that. The Millennium Falcon's here. Oh wow, cool. Let's try this again. Load the screw onto the magnetic screwdriver. Get it placed. Get this guy right where we need it. Sorry folks, I'm going to need to just pull this out of frame to get this first piece on, because it's a fiddly bit. It is a fiddly bit. But once I get that first piece of the frame on and in place, then it'll make a little bit more. It'll make it a lot easier for me to do the rest with it on screen, like so. All right, first piece on. Good. Get that screwed in there. Get the next one going. Same with this one. Yeah, this frame, as it gets bigger and bigger, it's like it's got the problem of having too much for me to grab onto and not enough places for me to grab onto it to tighten these. And then we're basically doing the same thing with this last piece. Let's make sure it does go on there with these two holes on the outside. Good. Doing the thing where I get it through the first hole and then connect it to the second. Okay, we got those done. Now we're going to assemble the radial rib. These two guys, and it's basically going to be this to here. I like doing these right to left, or sorry, left to right. So I'm going to put it on there that way. Put the brass screw part of the way through. Except, there we go. Assemble each side of this independently and then get this guy in here. And I'll do the 2 outer screws on each of these, and that'll make it easy to do the inner screws once things are attached. Cool. Inner screw, inner screw, inner screw, inner screw. Good, and last one. Good. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, now we're going to be attaching these guys with the black screws, getting basically attached to the existing parts of the frame. Like so. Okay. Again, find it much easier to put the black screw through first on the retaining, on the stabilizing rib, and then getting that in place with the rest of it. See how easy that looked as I miss the screw hole entirely. There we go. Get that in place, and then we can do the rest of these fairly easily. My gosh, I am all thumbs today. Probably the worst day for me to go bike riding if I'm all thumbs. I feel like I'm going to not be paying attention and something horrible is going to happen. Heaven forbid, obviously, but I need to get some training rides in for the MS-150, which is coming up at the end of June. Oh, excited about it. Is that even connecting? It's not even connecting with this guy. Come on. Get in place, why don't you? Don't fight me. There we go. Really wants to just around. This frame is looking great though. Is it the right order to do it like this? I don't know. Now that I'm doing it, stuff is not quite going into place on some spots and is on others, so maybe I'm learning that I shouldn't do it this way, because yeah, it worked all right on this one. Did not work on that last one. Felt like it was not quite aligned, and it still doesn't feel like it's all the way in there. Let's do another screwdriver and see if I can get things going in there a little bit better. Nope, that is not the one to use. I think the long one is the one to use for getting in there and tightening without stripping things. Maybe it's one of the blue ones. It's firm, but it just feels like there's a little bit of a gap. Oh, there definitely is a little bit of a gap too. these screwdrivers are getting in there without stripping things, and I don't, like, as soon as I feel it bump, oh, this guy's going in well. Okay, there we go. Tighten things up, and like a micron of a gap, if there is a gap. How about that guy? That guy could use a little bit more too. Great, okay. And our metal frame looking great. Nice big metal frame for this guy. Let's see what else we got in issue 15. Oh, just another, like, if you want to press fit some of the hull plating, you can, but just a matter of pressing the lugs into the holes. I'm not going to do that because it just feels like a step I don't want to do just yet. But I will gather these extra screws and put them into the spots where these extra screws can go. Those guys, and then the silver self-tapping screws. We are amassing quite the collection of these silver self-tapping screws. Cool. There we go. That is your issues 14 and 15, sorry, of the Millennium Falcon. Kind of a nice quick build today, but some of these issues are going to be long and drawn out, like the last couple issues, and some are going to be quick. Now the question is, here's the thing. This thing probably won't fit in the box anymore. Now it's too big to fit in the box, so we'll have to store those separately, which feels great. Like we're getting so close that we're actually having to store pieces in a much bigger container. I love that. All right, so next up will be 16 and 17. We'll record that over the weekend, and we'll see you then. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.